Guys, welcome to the Coach Brix Show. Hey, this is your host, Coach Brix. Hey, I hope you were fantastic out there, man. It's beautiful. Love it. Love to be alive. Love to be able to come on here and spread some messages, get some great feedback, get great content from other people out there that I can hear from and all that kind of stuff. So it's just great to be on here and just spread a message. And, you know, this message really goes towards my athletes out there. All athletes in general, okay? And we're in a time really very different than when I was growing up. Even just 5 years ago, it's different. You know, with the influx of social media, with the influx of, you know, all these things that this media stuff out there, that anybody can put anything out no matter what, okay? And this even goes to some coaches because sometimes I think some coaches out there read certain information, they think it's true. All right, that's not always the case. Some people are putting out there a bunch of junk that's not really true at all, and that's what you're following. That's not always the case. That you got to go do your research. You got to find out who that person is, what they know. You know, I always tell people, listen, I'm not ever going to become a doctor. I'm not going to do surgery on anybody because I didn't study that stuff. I didn't study it. I'm not going to work on your car because I didn't go to learn stuff like that. But so for some reason, this field that we're in, everybody thinks they're all of a sudden now a personal trainer or a fitness person. Okay? That's not necessarily true. Just because you lift weights doesn't mean you understand how the body works. And just because you put on some size and things like that, you maybe got the results that you wanted, doesn't mean you always understand everybody else. So you got to do your homework. That's number one. Second thing, this is more or less for athletes out there. Watch what you post. Seriously. The stuff that I read out of some people that want to get recruited by colleges, I'm appalled. I'm appalled. Understandable. I'm all about free speech. Say whatever you want. But when you don't get that offer or you don't get that look from that coach, don't come crying that, man, this is unfair, this is this and this. When all the stuff you posted about, you know, this sex, these drugs, and this kind of crap comes back to bite you in the rear end. You know, there's so many good players out there, whether it's football, basketball, baseball, soccer, whatever, field hockey, whatever. There's so many good athletes out there nowadays. And everybody can be seen now. It's not like it was way back in the day where it was more difficult. Everybody can be seen on by Huddle, you know, by your videos that you guys put out, you know, of your play and stuff like that. So there's many more options for these coaches to go and say, I want this kid. And then they go look at their background. You know, wow, look what this kid posts about all the time. Do we really want him here? All the negativity, the stuff that he's posting? Do we really want that person? Because this guy's just about as good as him, but look at him. He's not doing all that stuff. So let's go with this guy over here. Forget about this one. And then you miss out on your opportunity. And then you cry and you wonder why. Well, life isn't fair. Well, yeah, I agree with you. Life isn't fair, and it's not supposed to be fair. So you might as well get over that now. But you got to watch what you're posting. You got to watch what you're doing. The eyes are on you all the time nowadays. All right? Like they say, Big Brother's watching. They are. Big Brother is watching in the sense of these college coaches can see everything you put up. Everything, whether it's on your Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those kind of things. They can see all that stuff, especially if they really want you. They can see what you're doing nowadays because kids, they just post everything. All right? It's always out there. So you got to be more conscious of what you're doing. You know, some of my athletes have gotten pretty smart. And what I mean by that is they cut all that stuff out. They got rid of that stuff. Why? Because it wasn't benefiting them. They got rid of their Twitter. They got rid of their Facebook. They got rid of their Instagram. They got rid of their Snapchat. They got rid of all that stuff. And I asked them why. And they were like, Dave, it's not making me better. It was taking up too much of my time. I'm always on there. I was always on that thing. It was distracting me. And I thought to myself, man, that's a mature individual right there. And some of these kids are like seniors in high school, juniors in high school and stuff like that. Some are in college. They stay away from that stuff because they know it's very addicting. It is very addicting. I'm not going to lie. Hell, I see a lot of parents on there, I think, all day long. Trust me, I see them. They comment on every single thing out there. So I know it's addicting because I can see it. All right? I've cut back in the sense of I hate this stuff, really, in all honesty. If I didn't run a business, I probably wouldn't put stuff up there ever. I'd hide. I would, you know what I mean? I don't want people in that business. That's why I just try to post just my stuff of training and things like this to help educate. But you young kids, you got to be smart. You got to wake up and realize, yeah, it's cool to be able to interact with people from different schools, different parts of the state that you meet, or different parts of the country, the world. It's great. I'm all for it. But you can't be upset when you're posting stupid stuff over and over and over again and then not getting those offers. Even if you are a good athlete. Because you're doing it to yourself. So you got to be intelligent when you do these things. Also, what you do at school, what you do at practice, also goes a long way. I had a talk with one of my athletes, college guy. I said, you got to go up to a coach or a scout and be like, yes, sir. No, sir. He's getting ready for, going and playing at the big leagues, next level, the NFL. Said, if you're the 53rd person on a team, the 53rd, the very last guy, okay, this isn't talking about the practice squad, but the 53rd guy, you're making almost $500,000 a year. Think about that. You could be the worst guy on that team and you're still making $500,000. Man, most people don't even make that in their lifetime. And you can make that for 1 year, 6 months, 7 months, or whatever it is. So think about that. You got to have respect. You got to go out there and say, yes, sir. And it should start way, way, way young. Okay? It should be brought up by your parents. That they should make you do that to your coach or whatever. Whether you like to coach or not, or whatever, an adult, you still have respect for certain people. Especially your coaches at those younger levels a lot of times, because a lot of those guys don't get paid. They come out here and volunteer their time to help young kids out. But as you continue to go up the ranks, your high school coach, hey, thanks, coach. Yes, sir. No, sir. He tells you to come here. You're not walking over there. You're jogging your rear end over there. You're getting over there as fast as you can. You're the first one in line. You're those kind of things. You want to make a difference and you want to be seen? That's what's going to get you seen. That's what's going to make the difference. I always tell the story. I was never a great player. I wasn't. I'll admit it. I was sometimes 10th, 11th, 12th man on my basketball team. Now, we had a good team, but I was still way towards the bottom. But I got to play in college. I got to work my rear end. I worked my rear end off to play, start, or become sixth man. Those kind of things. But I always have respect for my coach. Whether I agreed with what he did, still respected him. Yes, sir. No, sir. You got it? Okay. I'll run over here. Like I said, I didn't always agree with all the style that he did, but that's okay. We're allowed to disagree. But I still respected what he was, who he was, and what he did. And I think that's what a lot of times kids don't do. They don't respect people anymore. And it comes from us adults. I'm going to admit it. We don't respect a lot of things, so why should the kids? But you want to make a difference. You want to be seen, especially if you're coming from maybe a Division 2, 3 school and you want to play at that next level. You got to show yourself even more. Because it's harder to pick you guys up. They're like, well, you played Division 2. Yeah, you were a good Division 2 player, but can you really play at that next level? You got to show out at all your tryouts, and then you got to be the same respectful. You got to run. You got to be like, yes, sir, no, sir, blah, blah, blah. I went to a basketball camp when I was young, and it was probably one of the best camps on the East Coast at the time. All right, it was held by a legendary coach, Morgan Wooten. All right, and I'll never forget sitting there, and they had to talk to all us campers, and there's 200, 300, 400 people, whatever, at this camp. And they showed how you should act towards a coach. And they showed the scenario of the guy, good player, blah, 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 walking over to the coach. Coach calls him over. Hey, Johnny, how's it going? Yep, good. Chewing his gum, not paying attention, dribbling the basketball. Then they showed the same scenario of somebody else, saying, okay, coach. Coach calls him over. He comes running over, puts the ball down right away, runs over, shakes the coach's hand. Coach, nice to meet you. Thanks, man. Blah, 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 blah. Who do you think made a better impression? Like I said, there's too many good players out there to act like some people do. You're not that great. Okay, that's what you got to understand. You'll always be replaceable. That just happens in life. Everybody is replaceable. I don't care who you are. You can be replaced. And if you're going to act a certain way, then you're going to be replaced. You got to act the correct way. So get off the social media. If you're going to be on it, great, but start posting stuff that's more positive, and you're not going to start acting like an idiot, because that's what they don't want to see. They don't need that kind of stuff. There's too much, like I said, you guys got a lot of spotlight on you. All these universities do too now, with all the news media and all these other coverage people out there saying, oh yeah, look at this kid. This kid did this wrong. Yeah, it's another product of this thing. Look at some of the universities that are in big time trouble now. You know, what they've done. News gets out. It's not like it was 20 years ago. There's so much more information, and because of social media, everything gets out. So you got to watch what you're doing. If you want to separate yourself, then do it. But you got to do it the right way. I'm not saying you don't promote yourself, but get off of all the other crap out there that some of you guys are posting. Because I see it. And like I said, I'm appalled by some of it. So start posting smart. Start being smart about it. Have respect for yourself, the people around you. Because that's what's going to make the difference. Guys, it's Coach Brix. All right? Send me information, what you guys want to hear about. Let's get on. Let's do this. Let's have some fun. All right? It's all about you guys, all about the athlete, all about the coaches. Want to continue to impress and help people out as much as I can. All right? Stay strong, stay blessed. Remember, greatness never rests.